The Sir Galante promo poster. Drawn by Cody. Galante's creed. 1. Slay the evil. 2. Protect the innocent. And yet, we are being given the death threat by the man himself. Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we're back with Phoenix Wright Conflict of Interest, and now we get a combat against a death threat, a thinly disguised death threat from the person who's almost certainly about to kill us, if we let him get away with this. Fun times. So I'm gonna get all back on in here, because we got more words to say, and we gotta stall and prolong our own death, okay? Please don't kill us. Just a moment, Mr. Black. I think I finally figured out the flaw in your explanation. I'll wait for you to show it. This piece of evidence proves that you were in there for a completely different reason. Completely different reason. Is the mark. You were trying to, like, were you trying to get rid of it? There was boxes moved from then, right? Well, how about this? Okay, that's wrong? Okay. It proves that. It proves what? You know, that, thing. What thing? Okay, never mind. Load back again. Okay, if it's not that, because I thought, like, again, like, you gotta get rid of the mark. Piece evidence proves you were there for a clearly different reason. Why were you in there? Received from Richard Black and you investigate the abandoned building at Crossing Valley's tower. Yeah, it's not the mark. It must be something else? What else is found in there? The sword was there, too. What else? Okay, what other reason would he be in there, though? I mean, we already picked up almost all the evidence from there, and we only found the mark, like, days afterwards? We're talking about the time frame where he picked up the note, right? The letter to Rick note. That's the abandoned building across the Valley's tower. So he found it in there. What other reason was he in there for? Covering more things up? He's behind Asia's murders. Everything else was... other than the warehouse. Was he trying to hide that? I honestly... we have to prove that he was in the warehouse for a different reason altogether then, right? When he was investigating, supposedly. So there's another reason. He's not there for the reason he said he was, but has to prove he was there for a different reason altogether. And so I don't have to press the statements, like, you know, quickly in succession. Save game. Okay, so if I were a killer, stretch imagination, I know. If I was there, what would I do? I'd be hiding evidence? The only thing I can think of, like, in terms of evidence that was there was literally the claymore. That was in clear view. The 2 blackmail letters, the other one here. Yeah. It doesn't address to anyone, so it doesn't make sense why to hide that, really. The other note, which Virgil literally just brought to Phoenix, like, their investigation, I think of day 2, I think, and back, that was only it. But the only other evidence that was trying to be hidden was the harness, which was hidden inside a vent, right? It's not that. Well, if there's some other reason why he was in there... Okay, fuse box, that was part of the tower. If there was a remote in the warehouse, we don't know anything about it, so we can't prove that. Hawk, unless that nest is in the abandoned warehouse, then I'm pretty much useless. We don't even know there's that nest in there. And plus, right now, the Hawk is pretty much just there. Attorney's badge, attorney's badge. Yeah, Hawk stole just for some reason. Okay, keys, family photo. Yeah. Where he presented this, they weren't cleaning. They weren't trying to clean away the mark. They put the mark on there, but that was like a day after the time frame we're talking about. Broken gun. No, it has nothing to do with it. The broken gun was literally found crushed onto Gumshoe's head. The letters found the crime scene. Another copy is found in the warehouse across the street. Doubt nothing. It wasn't. I don't remember how Zippy came across this letter, but sword. That was definitely in. It's really just planting evidence, but I already did the mark thing. Are we gonna leave, like, do the whole sword thing or something? Got the case files. We got that from the police. That was inside the safe inside the crime scene. The blood that's on the murder weapon. It was left on the crime scene, so no. Photo by the forensics team, no. Building plans, oh wow, nothing descriptive there, no. It's literally just a diagram. Little stains, I doubt he would have had that and tried to get things. Probably Cody, that's Cody's made that. Picture that Cody took a person at the roof of Valley's tower. Yeah, no. He couldn't even foresee that coming. Security system, blackout data. Yeah, no, and no. So the only thing I can think of is other evidence that was found in there at the time. Let's go with those. So that's not the harness. It has to be either the sword itself or the blackmail note. Which, if it's the blackmail note, that is cruel irony. It was prolonged the cruel irony if it's actually the goddamn sword, because the sword was right in the plain sight if he was only there to, like, you know, give the evidence there to prove it was like a Sir Galante thing. Maybe? Why is the sword? You went into that building and brought back an envelope and planted evidence there? Wouldn't the... Well, I guess the killer mark only made it a day after, but still, God. I'm not buying it. A pity. Why not? There's no way you could have entered that building and only noticed the envelope. There was a giant bloody sword lying in plain sight. Okay, that makes sense too. I think I remember bringing that up, actually. I'm an idiot now. Why would you choose to overlook the most obvious thing in the room? If you really wanted to help with the investigation, you would have brought back the murder weapon, not some random envelope. Okay, that makes sense, God. Why would you choose the envelope over the sword? Because the envelope was pure. Pure. It was pure. Nothing else. I mean, blood? That's impure. He already knew that it had been left there, since he passed through the building earlier. My guess is that he knew it was the one thing that was pointed away from Wayne Parker. That's the note that leads Detective Waters being arrested. But that wasn't the only cover-up you tried to do, was it, Mr. Black? Oh, there's Hawk now. You visited the warehouse again yesterday, and you made a second attempt to pin the murder on Waters. Oh, so now it comes to play here. Okay, nice. Skull. You tried to erase your mark. His boy's skull mark? Why would he do that? Yesterday during the trial, we discussed something very important. It's a possible enemy, Vigilante. He may have been in the Revali's penthouse that morning, but for every other time Vigilante killed somebody, he has an airtight alibi. I don't believe that it was ever proven beyond a doubt that Sir Galante committed this crime. His identifying mark isn't to be found. Until then, everything else can be seen as circumstantial. Waters had been proven to not be Sir Galante. Since the possibility of Galante not being the culprit was still being considered, he had to remove the one thing that would have confirmed it. If the bloody skull was never found, Waters would easily be convicted, allowing both Virgil Black and Mr. Parker to walk free. Well, Mr. Black, am I getting close? Not at all. Despite all your efforts, you still have yet to prove anything. Perhaps I chose to not take the sword because, like you said, I realized it would not be essential to proving Mr. Parker is innocent. There was no way to prove my own motivations for that, just as there is no way to prove that I was at the tower. Maybe you're right. I can't prove it. I don't have any evidence. However, there is one person who could testify about what happened in the penthouse. One person could happen in the penthouse. Oh, it's Mark. Mark Waters. The detective? There's a reason why things happened the way they did. That was the morning the lead detective was scheduled to meet with Michael Revales. By killing Revales then, he could remove two enemies at once. After all, who would want to keep hunting for somebody after they've saved your life? Why the Waters into the building has been proven. Are you sure that he was in the penthouse during the murder? I think we can leave that up to him to tell us. I suppose so. Bailiff, bring us Detective Waters. Now! Hi there, Mr. Cool Dude. You know why you're here? Yeah, I do. I believe we can skip the formalities. Tell us what happened. Right. Now's a chance, Waters. You can finally end this case. Give us your best cool dude attitude. Suave hair, dude. Is everyone being poetic now? Is everyone being poetic now? God. Oh, God. The night is darkest before the dawn. I went to meet with the rallies that morning. He was blackmailing me and I had no choice to respond. So Galante showed up and killed him. He seemed to know that I was going to be there. When you said that you saw Sir Galante, do you mean the witness, Mr. Black? I can't tell you that. He was completely covered in armor. Armor? So Mr. Hacken's camera wasn't just seeing things. How can a camera be seeing things? The only thing it can't see is what is actually in front of it. You put a filter over it and all of a sudden, like, it's just an AR thing? No, it's a goddamn digital camera. Well, I mean, this is the modern age. But still, no. God, no. Photoshop is a thing, but still, no. Just no. No. I suppose it wasn't. Detective, I believe that we will be able to trust you with this testimony. Am I correct in that belief? You bet, boss. Good. What do you mean by that, Nick? He's the prosecutor. It's his job to doubt the suspect. I wonder who he is. Oh, it's your job to doubt the suspect, and yet it's still my job to believe in the defendant for as much as I can. Okay, okay, fuck you, Obadia. Fuck you. Met to meet with Valleys that morning. Mister, I like doing formalities. How'd you get in there? I walked in the front door, like a normal person. Well, here's the thing. Was there a revolving door, a sliding door, a normal pull handle door? Does that even matter? Yes, it does. We covered this yesterday in great detail, but what kind of door? Shut up. Didn't we write? Yes, we did. Did anybody see you coming in? Yeah, they both did. Sarah Keys and Wayne Parker, I assume? Those two, yeah. Miss Keys is actually expecting me, so I was able to walk right past her. No sticking involved? Nah, I didn't need to. No ninjas necessary. He was blackmailing me and I had no choice but to respond. How'd the meeting go? Not very well. I mean, he tried to kill me and all. All a day's work, you know. Sounds like things got a bit out of hand. I'm pretty sure it would have ended like that no matter what. The guy was nuts. He overpowered me and stole my gun. When he realized it was empty, he tried to load it himself. He had his own bullets. Empty? Yeah, I never carry a loaded gun. I don't think I could ever kill anyone, even in self-defense. Where did Riley's get the bullets? I had them, they spilled on the fight. He was gonna use those. You might be able to avoid situations like that if you follow regulations. What? If I did, then I would be dead right now. I'm only lying because it was empty when he first tried to use it. Because it was empty that you were being in the first place. Well, in the end, it doesn't really matter because Vigilante showed up and killed him. What does Vigilante look like? Well, I guess he kind of looks like that guy in the night suit over there. Hello! So you didn't actually see his face? No, he had a helmet on. Well, I mean, the helmet is his face now. That's rather unfortunate for you. Putting the blame on a mysterious armored figure is no less suspicious than the defendant accusing you. You don't think we can trust him? They're both murder suspects. What makes you think we can trust either of them? Oh my god, okay, so now you're spinning your opinion on exactly what actually happened of me, like, me framing Mark Waters. I know it's still, like, a dick thing to do, but still, wow, you turn yourself around. But also, this is kind of terrible. Suspects will always lie to save themselves. I don't like it, but the evidence from yesterday must not be ignored. I'm telling the truth. I guess I'm the only one who'll be backing him this time. You seem to know that I was going to be there. I guess the big question is how. He was expecting you? Yeah, he addressed me by my own name. He knew who it was. It was kind of scary. How many people knew you were going to be there? Just me, Rick, and I guess who Valley's told. We have no way of knowing how many people that was. True, but there is something we do already know. We know that both the defendant and Miss Keys were at least aware of that fact. Valley was meeting with somebody. It's possible that one of them told him. With time to plan, it's not a stretch to say that he could have accomplished this. Okay, so now the whole blackout thing on top of the rooftop makes sense now. We can actually put, you know, Sarah Keys into this, right? Right, please? Shush you. Conjecture. Sustained? Everything I've said today has been conjecture. That's exactly the problem when you're facing a serial killer who removes every last bit of evidence of the crime scene. Mr. Waters is our last hope for this. Do you think he'll pull through for us? He'll have to. It's the only way he's gonna make it out here a free man. There's a lot at stake here. If we lose, he goes to jail. And you go down history as that evil attorney who framed an innocent detective. I don't think we can do that because we'll be dead. Please don't say that right now. What happened next? Okay. Next. How did Sir Galante escape from the room after he killed Rivales? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It's rather important. We're gonna need to hear it. Well, I know you're not holding back. The police aren't telling me what I want to know. Nothing I can do about it. You know I don't get that kind of authority. If access to it all, find some way. Get it to me. Yeah, right, man. You think I'd risk everything for a guy like you? You already have, just by coming here. You know what? I don't even care anymore. Say what you want. This deal's over. I'm out of here. I'm sorry, Waters, but I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that. What? Hey! What do you think you're doing? Sir Galante, I finally have you. Sir... Huh? I'm just glad I found you before the police did. I could personally kill the man who's tried so hard to ruin me. Michael Rivales, I finally have you. What the... You, whoever you are, please help me! So, Detective, I trust you're unharmed. You're actually him, aren't you? I am. You killed him. I did what had to be done. There are no courts on Earth for men like him. You're lucky my accomplice let slip of your meeting today. Otherwise, you might now be dead. Now you've seen me, can you still continue your quest? Now that I've saved your life. I can't... I don't know. I trust you would do the right thing. Farewell, Sir Detective. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. Perhaps we won't. Superman! That's basically what happened. He flew out the window like a crazy man. Superhero time. Really? I have to be the one that says it? Yes. People can't fly, Detective. Well, it's not unprecedented if I can bring up a certain quote from a certain whip-hungry prosecutor before you. Hey, I know what I saw. I swear I'm not crazy. Well, I mean, no, but still. I saw a guy jump out of a building and fly across the street. Well, he does like theatrics, and poetry, and dramatics, and yeah, everything basically just dramatics. He landed in the building across the street, huh? That's the same one we proved Mr. Black had been in. Don't tell me you actually believe this nonsense. Yes, because we saw it firsthand. I didn't say that. The strangest is, though, it's an important part of his testimony. I think we should add it. Well, Detective? Yes, sir. It might as well be adding, oh, and by the way, I'm crazy. We'll add that after basically we're done, okay? I knew it was gonna come up. Looks like it's finally time to solve the mystery of the flying armored man. I went to meet with Raleigh that day. He was blackmailing me. After that, he jumped out the window and flew away. We could present the harness here, but I jumped the gun a tiny bit before some, I'm gonna take extra precautions now. You know humans can't fly, right? Look, I know it sounds crazy. You had to be there to see it. Yes, we technically were. No, I believe you. You do? Seriously? I believe that you think you saw him fly. There's no reason for you to lie about something like that. I'm sure there's a very reasonable explanation for it. One you managed to overlook. Well, hey, yeah. Nobody actually believes me that he flew. Were you paying attention? I just said the complete opposite. Mr. Waters, our last hope for this. Do you think you'll pull through for us? Okay, it's all that. Okay, harness time. Actually, like, where is... Didn't we get the wire? We looked at a giant wire cable, right? Coil? I went too fast, but it was a whole giant cable thing. We didn't... Is that combined with a harness? I guess it has to be. I know I was gonna be there. Jumped the window and flew away. Okay, time to... Why am I... Oh yeah, those from presenting profiles. I was wondering, why do I keep every single time I open the goddamn present or court record thing? It's always on profile for some reason. Almost always. But that's my own doing. Do you like bungee cables? I think I solved our little puzzle here. Puzzly puzzle. Take a look at this. What is that? It looks like some kind of bungee cord. This is a harness, not a bungee cord. The cable's the bungee cord, but you know. That's exactly what it is, Your Honor. The harness attached to a rather long cable. One piece was found in the roof of the Rally's tower. The other in the warehouse across the street. We already know that's where he escaped to. The sword was found there. It's highly possible he was using it as a temporary space of operations. But isn't the building that Detective Gumshoe and Waters met in? They weren't there the whole time. By the time they left, the blackout had started. The plan was already in motion, and Vigilante was on its way there. You're suggesting he bungeed his way across? Not really bungeed, more like climbed. He attached one end of the cable to a starting point, and the other to something sturdy in the tower. Something like, perhaps, a lightning rod. He climbed up the cable to the top, rappelled down through the penthouse's open window, and killed his target. After that, he leapt out the window and let himself be carried down. Just like a zip line. Nay, you're a fool to suggest such a thing. Nay. This thing was in two pieces for a good reason. That being that the killer wasn't able to bring both of them with him when he left. After reaching the bottom, you could only disconnect one end of the cable. The other end, the one attached to the tower, was still hanging. I have nothing though to suggest that such a thing took place. Okay, my next thought is purely, two things. Mostly just a weird, I guess it's a plot hole, I guess, like something like that. If, like, Obadiah was actually being truthful in the fact he was looking at the rooftop, how'd he miss that long cable? If he actually did look at the rooftop and missed both the goddamn long cable and the fuse box, God. Jesus. Another thing, if Sarah Keyes, like, if she went up there to, like, remove it, then she should have rolled the cable, like, she should have rolled up the cable and stuff like that to, yeah, right? Just to try to get rid of it? But no, it was left there anyway, so why? You have nothing to suggest that such a thing took place. There's no proof that such a device was ever used. Oh, the Hawk looked at us. Oh, I believe I do. I have something that proves that I was there. Oh, I think I remember this now. There's a little cable there. What part of this proves that the harness and cord were used? Look at this little cord. This proves it. Proves what? You know, that... God damn it, why? Don't do this now. Do I have to start this from the very beginning? Don't, please don't do this. God damn it! Okay, we're gonna be back to this now. Nope. Okay, I hate myself. I clicked in the wire. Okay, we'll be right back. Broadcast. God damn it. Okay, saving here. What part of this is the harness and cord reused? I spent 8 whole minutes coming back to this. Oh god, okay. So if it's not the wire, it has to be a giant, little pole. God. Coney may not realize at the time, but he took a picture of more than just Sir Vigilante. The cable can clearly be seen here, not the cable. Oh no, the cable is irrelevant. We're not here looking at the giant pole in the background of the photo, not the wire. You didn't know whether they are one and the same. This does not explain how it's supposed to be able to attach it to those lightning rod in the first place. That's right, there's no way you could have done that. You would have to fly just to bring the other end up. Sir Judge, I assure you that I'm incapable of flight. Maybe you aren't, but you did have another way of attaching the other end. Okay, Mr. Hawk, please. I'm now because of that whole thing, I'm worried about everything. You weren't alone that morning. You had a little friend. You had somebody there to help you reach all those annoying too high to reach places. Right. Mr. Black isn't the one who can fly. It's his accomplice. Exactly. What? I suppose that somebody isn't the proper term here. You had something. A hawk. How dare you objectify a hawk? Hawks and animals have souls too, you know. A hawk? Perhaps the one that's perched on his shoulder right now. If you've noticed, it comes whenever he sees a sword. Oh. Well, I didn't notice that. It also helps that this hawk seems to treat the roof of Valley's tower as its home. He had a very effective method of carrying the cable up there. The trained hawk. How clever of you. You still seem to be missing the bigger picture. Well, I mean, Cody took a picture and well, that's the bigger picture right there, huh? Whether or not my friend here was able to carry the line, I still could not enter that building. It was impossible for me to do all of it by myself. I need an accomplice. A human accomplice. Actually, you're right. For this specific crime, you needed some help. You had somebody working from the inside. Ha! So I lowered myself to the level of the Ravalli's family. Who then was it? Who aided me in my quest? Okay, finally. Well, okay, well, medieval times had to worry about all this, you know, the pus and all that, like, and what things is yellow? Yellow. Even with his own ranks, Michael Ravalli's had plenty of enemies. I'm guessing that it wasn't very hard for you to find somebody willing to betray him. There were plenty of holes in Syracuse' testimony. You were able to find answers for some of them. Others, we weren't. You don't mean... Miss Keyes was the one that helped him enter the building. What better reason to lie in her testimony than to save her own life? What on earth would compel her to do something like that? Sarah was never loyal to Ravalli's. When she was a young girl, her father was killed as a hit job from the family. The only reason she joined him was so that she could plot his death. I guess I only have one more question for you. I bet I have an answer. Is there any evidence that points toward her involvement? Do you have anything to support this? I believe I do. What's the piece of evidence that incriminates Sarah Keyes as Vigilante's accomplice? That's the thing. Do we even have anything for that, literally? I'm pretty sure if we did, we would have presented something like that, right? Well, legitimately, all that? No. Honestly, like, okay, the other thing we can think of, like, that requires is, like, the security system. It's either that, because, like, she can, like, manipulate it. Like, she's a receptionist. She climbed the ranks. That, she helped with the blackout report, the whole blackout thing. Like, with either the fuse box or not. Like, planting it there. Yeah. That has to be the evidence, please, right? Okay. There are actually a few things that point to her. First, we have the penthouse window. I seem to recall that it can only be opened from the inside. Okay, so she had to go inside there, like, oh, hi there, Mr. Valles. Isn't it cold, like, very hot in here? You want me to open the window? Of course you do. Open. Okay. Okay, bye. She could go in there anytime she wanted. Secondly, there was the fuse box on the roof, which she could also easily access. She could attach the device onto it, so Vigilante could later trigger it for your remote. And finally, there's the harness. Vigilante's hawk couldn't attach the cable with the hands. Somebody else needed to be up there. Miss Keyes is in a perfect position to do all these things. Blackout gave her the perfect cover for it. She just needed to make sure that she was back at her desk when it was over. So the whole story about her losing her cell phone... I'll lie. She needed to come up with some excuse in order to keep the blame on Mr. Parker. You don't believe I would try to frame my good friend? I would never betray him like that. I never said you would. It's clear Miss Keyes had an engine of her own. This whole case has been a setup. It would be this knife, actually, right? Okay, I'll have to keep saving because, yeah. Ever since it was found, this knife has been nothing but a big contradiction. It doesn't even fit the victim's wound, yet somehow it was accepted as the murder weapon. Why is that? I believe it was Miss Keyes who reported in. Mr. Parker told me the other day that his knife had gone missing. From there, somehow it ended up at a crime scene in which Sarah was the only witness. But why would she? To frame him, obviously. She wanted revenge on him just as much as she did on Ravalli's. To her, this whole scenario was a way for her to, almost literally, kill two birds with one stone. Please don't kill the hawk. He's done nothing wrong besides help with a wire, that's it. As his friend, Mr. Black had no intention of seeing my client behind bars. But Miss Keyes did. After Ravalli's was killed, she entered the penthouse and planted a knife. Then, she called the police and let them know that a murder had taken place, making sure to give them just enough reason to arrest Mr. Parker. Madam Keyes, you are a fool. Okay. Okay, we don't have to wait for an earthquake to shake the courtroom. We already have an earthquake-making machine in here first. Mr. Black, now we have to switch to a different courtroom. Do you have an idea how much those things cost? $10? Sorry, Sir Judge. It won't be necessary to change rooms, Your Honor. But the witness stand, we need it! It's just a block of wood. How dare you? What if someone broke your prosecutor bench? Or mine? Then everything would be out of order. The court is not a building and furniture, but a group of people gathered to deliver justice. You can get the bench replaced later. We're almost finished here. Perhaps for you, but for me, I believe it's time to depart. No. You weave interesting tales, Sir Wright. It is none the least bit believable. You have not proven anything. All the evidence you have shown could just as easily be used against the detective, or Madam Keyes, or, since I hate to admit it, Sir Parker. I knew confidential information because my friend shares his woes with me. I was in the abandoned building because I wished to help your investigation. The rest does not point to me at all. He's right, you know. There is no evidence that directly incriminates him. Come on, this isn't right. The jury system was supposed to do away with things like this. Whatever happened to common sense? Sometimes evidence is common sense. You have nothing, so your words mean nothing. You cannot convict a man with baseless accusations. You have shown that Sir Vigilante committed the murder. You have not shown that I'm he. Does the prosecution have anything to show that I, Virgil Black, killed Micro Valets? No. You, Sir Wright, do you? No. And there is no more reason for me to stay. Sir Judge, Your Honor. No, I don't suppose we can force you to stay? No, we can't leave now. Unless he suddenly decides to confess, it looks like it's all over. Confess? Can you think of anything that would make him do that? Confession might actually still be within our reach. I had to chance it. Wait, Mr. Black, before you go, there's something I'd like to show you. Something I'd like to remind you about. Very well, sir, lawyer. If you insist, you may show me one thing, and one thing only. If you have anything to prove that this man killed a victim, you better do it now. Actually, I don't have to prove anything, but I'd like to show him something nonetheless. Yeah. I had a different reason for reminding people of it again. Even though I know what this is, I'm gonna save just in case. Could you please take a look at this? It's a poster of Sir Vigilante. I saw a young man handing them out in front of the courthouse. This is what you wanted to show us? We wanted to know what Vigilante looked like. We could have just looked over the witness. It's not the picture. It's what's written on it. Sir Vigilante's creed has 2 rules. 1. Slay the evil. And 2. Protect the innocent. Sir Vigilante has inspired fans, such as the creator of this poster, for one very simple reason. He represents the triumph of good over evil. To them, he is a hero. And nothing more. That is all. Why do you insist on wasting your time like this? This teaches us nothing. Is that really all the defense wishes to show us? Yes, Your Honor. I think it's all we really need. I'm afraid that there is nothing more for us to discuss here. Are you sure that was the right thing, Nick? I think so. We'll see, though. I hope you know what you're doing. The defense has nothing more to say. I see no more reason to further prolong this trial. The jury may decide its verdict. No. This isn't right. I won't hide anymore. I did it. I killed Micro Valets. I am Sir Vigilante. You are? Well, thank you for clearing this up. But I don't understand. Why are you confessing? You could have walked away. No, Sir Judge, it is I who didn't understand. Head of Waters is innocent. Had I confessed it sooner, I almost sent him to his death. It would have been no worse had I personally ended his life. I wanted to make the city a better place. But when I start placing my own interests before those of others, I know that it's time to retire. I failed to protect the innocent. I hope to do. I am no hero. There's more to being a hero than just fighting bad guys, you know. Protecting the innocent should always come before punishing the guilty. Yes, there's the difference between a hero and a vigilante. Appears I know better than those I sought to destroy. You fought well, Sir Wright. Thank you for stopping me before I did something truly horrible. Sir Detective, Wayne, I am sorry. Now that we have a confession, I believe that we can end this trial. It's finally over. I thought this case might never be solved. You're welcome. Nice smugness. 3 years. So this case for 3 years. And now you come and solve it in 3 days without any help. That's not true. I had plenty of people help me. I couldn't have done it without them. I don't know who you think you are, right? But this doesn't end here. It never does. I still know what you've done to get where you are today. Okay. There really is no changing your mind, is there? Pah. I believe that it's time to hand things over to the jurors. The verdict is black. It's back. It's black. It's Virgil Black. Thanks to confession, the decision was unanimous. The jury has found the defendant, Wayne Parker, not guilty. Woo! I miss confetti, though. The confetti cake. Court is adjourned. Okay, bye, Abadia. We'll see you later. Most likely, probably. Alright, Nick! Yeah, Pops, you did it! Oh, yeah, I forgot you were watching. And you were handing those posters at the very beginning, and you're handing those posters to the people from the courthouse. I probably should have pieced it together really quickly. Well, I technically did, but you know. I have you two to thank for that. Nah, you're just being modest. You're the real hero here. Yeah, Nick, you just took down a serial killer. And sent 2 people in the process. Well, I don't think we ever tackled down a serial killer technically canonly. I mean, there was Joe Dark, but he was gone and dealt with by them. I don't think there was any other case that involved serial killers. Huh. Cool. I guess 4, if you count us. Yes. Must make you feel better to know you're not gonna be sentenced to sleep tonight. I think you just still gave paranoia now. Yes, I must say that it does. Phoenix Wright, defender of the innocent and foe to all that is evil. Yeah! Yeah! Well, gee, thanks you guys. Maybe you should take up the mantle of Sir Vigilante now. No. I might pass on that one. Nick couldn't do that. He'd be afraid of the flying part. Yes, that too. Right. That's it. That's the only reason. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'd be dead man without you. Mr. Parker? Is everything alright? He should be celebrating. Well, he said he was gonna, like, turn himself in afterwards. Like, what his involvement with, the family. It's just... Why? What are you talking about? Why what? You mean your friend, Mr. Black, don't you? Mm-hmm. Why do you do it, Mr. Wright? The Virgil I knew wasn't crazy. He wouldn't go around killing people for no reason. Well, I can't really say for sure. I can't read minds. Right, I knew that. However, if I had to guess, I would say that this is why he did it. It's technically just for one very simple reason. He did it for you, Mr. Parker. What? What? You've been a close friend to him for a long time. He saw how much the Rivali's family was destroying your life. He wanted to help. The police force too scared to do anything. He took the only course of action that made sense to him. Virgil? I can't believe it. You did all of it to protect me? You can finally leave them now, Mr. Parker. You're free. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you both for everything. And so ended the Sir Vigilante murders. After long and bloody 3 years, the law had finally managed to catch up with them. However, for me, this was just the beginning. Another case solved. A flying, armored superhero. What are they gonna come up with next? Something about, well, I was gonna say something about orcas, but you know, that's not in this game. Or out of this, alternate canon. And then there's this. Missing. Pearl, I hope you're safe, wherever you are. I hope you're... You can't get rid of that. She'll notice if you do. You both know what that would mean to her. Why are you so quiet, Daddy? You tell me. I guess I'm just thinking about her. I miss her. Maya does too. Should never give up trying to find you, Pearls. Do you know that? Wherever you are? And that's the end of the technically the first canon case was made. Before the tutorial case came in after all the other cases were done. Yeah, I'll just say it was fun. I like the concept. Thanks, right? Yeah, I know the guy. No, he's a real jerk. I still can't believe you tried to frame me for murder. What did I ever do to him? Everything. Just glad that we probably won't ever work in the same case together again. No comment. Like, besides, like, the obvious grievances I have with it, I still think it's fun. Like, the whole idea, just, like, the whole, you know, Sir Galante's suit of armor thing was really fun. Just the little details. I know Mr. Livingston wouldn't do that for us, but it really is good to have Wright back in the tourney, pal. I probably should tell Mr. Edgeworth. He'd like to know too. Then again, he probably already knows. As he does. He always has to find out things before I do. Yes. He reads every file that Phoenix's name is in apparently. If the ending of the second Justice, like, well, the third case, the ending of the third case, Justice for All, was anything. Yeah. That's still hilarious, thinking about it more in detail. But yeah, like, the obvious agreements I have with it, just, yeah. You have no idea how amazing it was to play detective these past few days. Oh yeah, I bet. Hawk is still there. No way they could have caught him without my help. You know, I kinda think I'd make a good lawyer myself. I should go to law school so I could be just like Mr. Wright. I wonder if I'll get super lawyer powers then too. You have to go to a certain town for that, but I'm not telling you that. Yeah. Yeah, like just like how other fan games so far goes, it needs the writing needs to be like a bit more. You need to it needs to point in the right direction of what Evans needed to point instead of indirect contradiction here. Do this there and all that. It tripped me up obviously a few times. Since, like, you know, even though it's been a couple days, like, I still managed to follow along really easily. Although I don't remember all the intricate little details. Some of them were just basically just me not reading the descriptions properly, just making mistakes here and there. Which I guess is actually more like... Most of the mistakes happen in the first parts of the trial, actually, than this final one, actually. Yeah. It's still a final time. Right? Legendary Phoenix Wright? What about him? You're not another one of his fanboys gonna gloat, are you? Oh boy. I can't believe you people actually like him. That man's a joke. Just you wait, if I ever prosecute another one of his cases, you can be sure that I'll reveal him for the creep that he is. Alright, having a fun time still. I'm looking for that one evidence that he fabricated. In that case we just finished. Yeah, have fun with that. Waste your time with that, please. Waste your time with that. Gosh. Still well, the music here was like more it felt sometimes it felt like almost out of character. At the same time it sort of fits them, but it still breaks the tone a tiny bit of like what the case is going for. I still love how all the music and content of court goes. I keep going back to that game. Like, that was my favorite, both in the music choices and like how it's written and all that. Oh, wait. Oh, Sir Galante's theme. Oh, that definitely was from a late Professor Layton game. Oh, I called it. Oh, it's from the one Professor Layton game I played. Only one. I turned myself in. It wasn't easy, but I did it. Like, I'd say I'll probably be let out early for good behavior. I don't think that's right. But now that Mr. Values is gone, I can probably live my own life. Can't thank Mr. Right enough. I wonder how long you knew. Virgil Black. I think they mentioned before, like, they'd known each other for longer than 8 years, like that. Maybe like less or more than that. So yeah, it's kind of nice. Oh, we're not gonna see Sarah Keys. Nick won. Probably months since he got his badge back, and has already managed to put his serial killer behind bars. It's gonna be kind of hard for him to top that. Yes, indeed. And of course, special thanks to you for playing. Oh, please don't tell me it's gonna crash again like all the other times the cases went through. Please don't. I'm waiting. A little fanfare. How's the investigation going? Oh, I remember these now. Oh, I completely forgot about these. Things are finally starting to come together. That's good to hear. I can't say for certain, but I'm betting that I'll have the answers to everything within a few months. That soon? Excellent. You don't know how happy I am to hear that. You haven't shown any interest before. Why sudden change now? What do you mean by that? It's been all I thought about since that case. Finally, I can finish what we started. Finally, I can have my revenge. Revenge? Didn't know you felt that strongly. Abadia? Abadia's a killer, confirmed! Please don't. I I called it. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. And I can't really give more criticism than what I've already had when going through the moment. Because I did get lost a few times, whether it's just because of, like, I forgot smaller key details, the writing I didn't fully understand, or just, like, literally, the the creator didn't account for pretty much, like, how the player would probably, like, go about presenting certain pieces of information, at least in this case. The wire, I'm still fed up with the wire bit on the, and Cody's photo thing. Yes, yes, I presented the wire, which you can obviously see there, but no, the wire wasn't there. It never was there. You could barely see it, even though it's just right there. Obviously, it's just like the giant cable thing with the long lightning rod thing is right behind Sir Galante. I mean, you can't see the cable, but now you can see the actual pole behind him. Now the cable's there. It magically appeared out of nowhere for everyone to see. And at this point, like, it's the only one of the big criticisms I could take of recent memory for this case, except for a few things I can remember being annoyed in the first couple trials, the first two trials, I think, about something or another, with, like, a bit obtuse. I think remember there was like, of course there was some details in the second case where mailing down Mark Waters, which were probably more my fault in terms of, like, forgetting things, but there have been some mistakes where I just didn't understand what the, like, the case in the game was trying to get me to to select and choose this and all that. Yeah. Yeah, but it's the whole thing of, like, you're not on the same page as a developer, and you just need to make the writing more, on point. Proofreading and just, like, beta testing, reading, and just, like, following along with what, you give the game to someone else to play through, get feedback and all that, and use stuff from there. It's a simple tactic, but it's effective one. And that's pretty much all the criticism I can give for this. Even though, yeah, the tutorial is, like, eh. And same thing with this case. There's some really fun moments in this one. Just the whole investigation thing with this whole serial killer thing. It's pretty cool. But I know just from, like, how we're have to navigate the next case, it's gonna be a bit arduous for me. I don't remember exactly when the difficulty spikes I keep subtly and not so subtly referring to comes up. But it's either the next case or the case after that. And for those who don't know anything about this fan game, and are just mostly just following along with this series or following along with anyone else, then we'll be going into the next case, which is aptly named Turnabout on the Web. What does that have to do with spiders? Or something else? Maybe something electronic. But who knows? We'll figure out next time. So, what a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope you see me next time. What time may be. And I hope you have a fantastic day.